Good morning. Good morning and welcome back to CS 492F, Futures of the World. And welcome to today's topic E, Future Societies and Future Value/Belief Systems. This topic has been prepared by Hallelujah, by Dongwon, and by Nur Sultan. So I'm going to put the spotlight on these three. And feel free to start. Please.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Please
Okay.
begin by introducing yourself.
Good morning, everyone. Me, Hallelujah, and my teammates Nur Sultan and Dongwon are going to present you about the future society, value, and belief systems. I'll present you today about future value and belief systems, and Nur Sultan and Dongwon will present you about future societies next Friday. We'll firstly discuss how this value and belief systems came to existence, what the past and current value and belief systems are, what the effects the modern day value and belief system, what affect the modern day value and belief systems, and how future belief and value systems would turn out to be in different future scenarios. I have tried to prepare an interesting presentation for today on these topic areas. I hope you would like it. Let's start with this video, with the video explaining how belief systems developed in history. Can you see the video? Can you hear the voice?
Yes.
Okay.
Experience taught Stone Age people the difference between what poisoned them and what satisfied their hunger. They tended to believe the world would always be as the gods had made it. They had no sense of social progress or image of humanity's capabilities beyond their abilities. The imagination of those who had a biological potential for genius and those of normal intelligence were limited by their culture. Had it been otherwise, modern society would have appeared much sooner.
I hope you enjoyed the video, sorry. Let me make a more thorough explanation of the origin of belief systems for you. I believe the origin and evolution of belief systems are deeply intertwined with the development of human societies and cultures. Belief systems encompassing religions, spiritual practices, and various worldviews have been a fundamental part of human history, evolving over time in response to a variety of social, cultural, environmental, and psychological factors. The earliest belief systems likely arose from animistic practices where early humans imbued the natural world with spiritual significance, seeing spirits or a divine presence in animals, plants, and inanimate objects. And shamanism also, there were certain individuals who were believed to interact with the spiritual world. And this is considered one of the oldest forms of organized spiritual practice. Then as human societies grew more complex, polytheistic religions emerged, whereas pantheons of gods and goddesses that personified natural forces and human experiences. These religions often featured rich mythologies as seen in ancient civilizations like Egypt, Greek, and Mesopotamia. Nextly, monotheistic religions, which posited a single all-powerful deity, began to emerge in the first millennium BC. And Judaism is one of the earliest examples, followed by Christianity and Islam. These religions brought new concepts of ethics, morality, and the afterlife. Furthermore, development of philosophy and later modern science introduced new ways of thinking about the world and humanity's place in it. This discipline sometimes challenged religious ideas, but also often coexisted or were integrated into religious thought. As cultures interacted through trade, conquest, and migration, religious beliefs often blended leading to synthetic religions that combine elements of different traditions. An example is the spread of Buddhism into East Asia, where it integrated aspects of local traditions like Taoism and Shinto. Within major religions, various reform movements and schemes started to occur over time, leading to the creation of new denominations or sects with distinct beliefs and practices. For example, the Protestant Reformation in Christianity is a notable example. Moreover, the spread of empires and later globalization facilitated the spread of major world religions, but also led to the separation of indigenous religions. In some cases, colonized peoples blended their traditional beliefs with those of the colonizers. In the modern era, new religious movements and belief systems have emerged, and there have been a rise in secularism and the questioning of traditional religious authorities. At the same time, there is growing interest in spirituality that transcends traditional religious boundaries, including interest in Eastern philosophies, New Age beliefs, and secular forms of spirituality like humanism. The evolution of belief systems is a dynamic and ongoing process, reflecting humanity's continuing quest to understand the universe and our place within it. These systems have adapted and changed in response to new knowledge, cultural interactions, and societal changes, illustrating the deep connection between belief systems and the broader human experience. I think I've explained what belief systems are well, and now let's move to the origin of value systems, and let's start with a video of what values are.
You might want to speak more slowly. Hallelujah.
Oh, okay.
Values. Values are individual beliefs that motivate people to act one way or another. They serve as a guide for human behavior. Generally, people are predisposed to adopt the values that they are raised with. People also tend to believe that those values are right because they are the values of their particular culture. Ethical decision-making often involves weighing values against each other and choosing which values to elevate. Conflicts can result when people have different values, leading to a clash of preferences and priorities. Some values have intrinsic worth, such as love, truth, and freedom. Other values, such as ambition, courage, and responsibility, describe traits or behaviors that are instrumental as means to an end. Still, other values are considered sacred and are moral imperatives for those who believe in them. Sacred values will seldom be compromised because they are perceived as duties rather than as factors to be weighed in decision-making. For example, for some people, their nation's flag may represent a sacred value. But for others, the flag may just be a piece of cloth. So, whether values are sacred, have intrinsic worth, or are a means to an end, values vary among individuals and across cultures in time. However, values are universally recognized as a driving force in our ethical decision-making.
Now let me explain to you what's the origin of now let me explain to you about the origin of value systems. The origin and evolution of value systems are deeply rooted in complex interplay of historical, cultural, social, religious, and philosophical influences. This intricate tapestry has shaped the moral and ethical framework that guide human societies. In prehistoric and early human societies, the primary focus of value systems was on survival and social cooperation. Basic needs like sharing resources, familial bonds, and group loyalty were paramount for the survival of these early communities. Alongside these pragmatic values, early human societies often practiced animism, attributing spiritual significance to natural forces and elements, and this belief system fostered a deep respect and reverence for nature, influencing how these communities interacted with their environment. As we move to ancient civilizations such as Egypt, Mesopotamia, and the Indus Valley, we see religious beliefs and mythologies becoming central to shaping values. These societies developed complex belief systems centered around gods and goddesses, which dictated moral codes and societal norms. A significant evolution in value systems during this period was the development of written laws like the Code of Hammurabi, which formalized societal values into legal codes often underpinned by divine authority. Classical antiquity further contributed to value systems through philosophical explorations of figures like Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, and the Stoics in ancient Greece and Rome. Their ethical theories and ideas about virtue, the good life, and civic responsibility significantly influenced Western value systems. Additionally, the emergence and spread of major world religions, including Judaism, Christianity, Buddhism, and Islam, introduced new ethical teachings and values that have shaped societies for centuries. During the Middle Ages, religious institutions, particularly in Europe under Christianity and in the Islamic caliphates, held significant sway over values and ethics. However, the Renaissance and Enlightenment periods marked a shift towards humanism and reason, and philosophers and thinkers began advocating for values based on human experience and rationality, leading to the development of modern secular ethics. The colonial era played a crucial role in the global exchange of values and ethics, often leading to the blending of indigenous and foreign value systems. In the contemporary period, value systems are increasingly influenced by globalization, leading to a more diverse and pluralistic set of values across societies. And scientific discoveries and technological advancements have introduced new values and ethical considerations, such as environmentalism and digital ethics. Additionally, social movements for civil rights, gender equality, and other issues have significantly influenced contemporary value systems, emphasizing values like equality, justice, and human rights. The effect of belief systems and religion on our value systems can be seen as more crucial than all the other factors, considering like the historical background of the development of value systems. And for example, like the most ancient recorded laws, including the law of Hammurabi and like Book of Torah, on which most of the contemporary ethical value systems are based on, have religion as their basis and legitimize their authority by calling their laws God-given, and most often stating the reasons to follow them as to please God. I have an interesting video covering most of the contemporary belief systems so far. Let me share it for you.
Kind of. Deploy anything.
Why are there so many different religions? Well, it's because different religions are different answers to the big Why are there so many different religions? Well, it's because different religions are different answers to the biggest questions of life, so that's why people care so much about this. Question 1. Is there a God, and if so, how many? Some people don't believe in any gods or any kind of spirituality at all. These people are called atheists. Atheists don't necessarily believe God doesn't exist, some of them simply lack a belief that God does exist, so some are more agnostic about it. But generally, atheists think we don't have any reason to believe in anything beyond the material universe. But some people who don't believe in God still believe in some kind of spirituality, and according to Buddhists, that spirituality should involve denying yourself. Here's why. Buddhism does not teach that Buddha was a god, nor did Buddha teach about any gods, but Buddha did teach about the ultimate red pill, which is that life is basically just suffering. At the root of suffering is desire. Those are the 4 noble truths. Number 1, life sucks. Number 2, life sucks because you want stuff. 3, if you stop wanting stuff, then your life won't suck. Number 4, there's a path you can take to not want stuff anymore. It's simple. Well, really, the more you desire something, the more disappointed you're going to be when you don't get it. For example, the more you like a pretty girl, the more disappointed you're going to be when she rejects you, and she will. The more you love money, the more disappointed you're going to be when the economy crashes, and it will. You gotta stop being so attached to all these worldly pleasures, so you need to break that attachment by denying yourself, and then you can be spiritually free. Life is a cycle of pain, but if you eliminate your desire, you can free yourself from the entire cycle and achieve nirvana, which is true spiritual bliss. Now, some people want spiritual freedom but do not want to deny themselves. This kind of spirituality isn't about self-denial at all. It's about the opposite, self-affirmation. It doesn't like the submission involved in traditional religion, but still wants to have the spiritual meaning that traditional religion can provide. It's about the freedom to pave your own spiritual path. So because it's all about spiritual libertarianism, it's not an organized religion, but it's a decentralized set of practices that are becoming increasingly popular among Westerners, particularly women. Now, some people believe in many gods, like some pagans and Hindus. The difference is that Hindus believe in reincarnation. Pagans are usually polytheists, which means they believe in many gods. They represent forces in nature. The sun, there's a god for that. The moon, there's a god for that. The sky, there's a god for that. The sea, there's a god for that. Your crops, there's a god for that. So because there's a god for every area of life, if you want to succeed in a certain area of life, you need to win the favor of that particular god. And often different cultures have different versions of the same gods. Another thing is the gods of paganism are a lot more anthropomorphic, or human-like, than they are in other religions. The gods are a lot more powerful than humans, but they're still both finite. They're not all powerful. Just like humans, gods will fight each other, get drunk, reproduce, and make mistakes. Okay, now do Hindus also believe in many gods? Well, it's kind of complicated, because there are indeed many gods in Hinduism, but they're all part of the same ultimate reality. Hindus believe that the one ultimate reality encompasses everything, but it's received in many different ways. They believe there can be many incarnations of God or the gods, and that's why it's okay to worship idols, because the divine expresses itself through the physical. This is why Hinduism has a more pluralistic approach. Instead of having a strict canon of what you must believe the way some religions do, Hinduism is more like a buffet where you can choose to believe what best suits you, because God can be received in different ways. Hinduism also believes that reality is a cycle, so that's why they believe in karma and reincarnation. They believe there's a hierarchy of life forms, and if you earn bad karma in this life, you'll move down the hierarchy in the next life. There's also a hierarchy of people, and if you earn good karma in this life, you can move up the hierarchy in the next life. So you could say Hindus are monotheist. The difference is they believe God is one with the universe rather than separate from it, which is similar to how Sikhs think of God. The difference is that Hindus worship idols and Sikhs do not. Sikhism strictly only believes in one God, but not in the way that Western religions do, because Western religions see God as something outside and external to the universe, whereas Sikhism would agree with Hinduism that God is one with the world, but unlike Hinduism, they do not think that that means we can worship idols. They see God as kind of an unknowable mystery, but they also believe that the gurus have been enlightened to teach us how to serve God, and that includes working for equality and justice. Western religions, on the other hand, do see God as separate from the universe, and deists don't even think God interacts with the universe at all. According to deism, God is outside the universe, and he sort of set the universe in motion, but doesn't actually intervene in the natural course of events. So deism often compares God to a sort of clockmaker for the universe. Why do they believe this? Well, deists think that from reason alone we can figure out that God exists, but when it comes to divine revelation or supernatural miracles, then they're a lot more skeptical. So God exists, but doesn't really care. But the Abrahamic religions believe God does care, and he does interact with the universe. Okay, so how exactly did he do that? Did God become human in Jesus? And if not, is Jesus still the Messiah? Judaism doesn't think so. Judaism is about God's relationship with the Jewish people. They believe they're God's chosen people, chosen by God to bless the world by helping people live rightly, and they believe God gave them the Torah to help them accomplish that. Okay, how strictly do they follow the Torah? Well, it depends on who you ask. Some Jews follow the Torah really strictly, some of them follow it kinda strictly, and some of them don't follow it strictly at all. They also believe in the coming of the Messiah, a Jewish superhero who's going to fix the whole world. The reason they don't believe Jesus was Messiah is because the world apparently hasn't been fixed yet, but they still believe it's their job to start fixing the world in preparation for when the Messiah does arrive. Now, Islam actually does believe Jesus was the Messiah, but still strictly not God. They believe he was a prophet, specifically a prophet of Islam, because they believe the same God gave different revelations to different prophets over the years, but these revelations gradually got corrupted, so God gave the final and perfect revelation to Muhammad in the Quran. They see Islam as the fulfillment of Christianity and Judaism. So they do believe Jesus was a very important prophet, they believe he was the promised Messiah, and they even believe he was born to a virgin, but they do not believe he was God, and they do not believe he rose from the dead. They believe that he didn't even die, God just made it appear that way. Muslims believe that the Quran is the direct word of God, it's flawless, it's eternal, and it's been perfectly preserved. And it also says how to submit to God, and that's very important because the meaning of Islam is to submit. God is ruler of the entire universe, and all humans are called to submit to God. And eventually God is going to reward those who do good and punish those who do evil. And if you want to know how to do good by submitting to God, there's 5 big ways to do so. The biggest focus of Islam is the fact that there is only one God. There is nothing like God, and God is so pure and so far above the universe that God couldn't possibly become human. Christianity is very different, however, because it teaches God did become human. Christianity is all about Christ. Jesus is truly human just like the rest of us, but he's also truly God just like God the Father. And because he's truly human and truly God, he's the only one who can bridge the gap between humans and God. And there is a gap, because God is perfect, almighty, and eternal, whereas we humans are sinful, weak, and corrupted. But still, in his infinite love and mercy, God came down, became human, and died for our sins, and he rose from the dead, and eventually is going to raise the rest of us from the dead as well. What's unique about Christianity is we don't actually have to be good enough for God, because God already did that for us when he became human and died for us. So we just need to be united to Christ, and then we can participate in God's eternal life. Okay, but how do we do that? For those who have faith in Christ, the Holy Spirit unites them to Christ, because the Holy Spirit is the Spirit of Christ, and he's also the Spirit of the Father. These 3 persons have relationships with one another, but they're still all the same being, so Christianity still only believes in one God. All of this is revealed in the Bible, which is the story about Jesus. Spoiler alert, Jesus wins in the end. He defeated death when he rose from the dead, and when he comes back, he's going to destroy all evil in the world and make the world perfect. Just like he united God and man, Jesus is also going to unite heaven and earth. So all these religions teach very different things. Some people try and respect all religions by saying they're all basically teaching the same thing, but this actually disrespects all religions by discarding the uniqueness of their claims. The truth is that religion raises the biggest questions of life that everyone needs to answer for themselves.
This is what happens when you exit the matrix. Pay close attention, the end is astonishing. When you are in the process of awakening, you
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. These are some of the major belief systems we saw in the video. Now let us move to the factors affecting our value and belief systems. The first one is religion, and we have covered how religion symbolizes the current beliefs, the current belief systems and like the past also, and how it has affected value systems for centuries. And the other one is technological innovation and scientific discoveries. Technological innovation and scientific discoveries have historically had profound impacts on belief and value systems, often reshaping society's understanding of the world and themselves. Throughout history, these advancements have challenged existing paradigms and led to significant societal shifts highlighting the dynamic interplay between science, technology, and human values and beliefs. One of the most notable examples is the Copernican revolution. Nicolas Copernicus had this heliocentric model, which posited that the Earth revolves around the Sun, fundamentally challenging the long-held geocentric view that was deeply intertwined with religious beliefs. This paradigm shift revolutionized astronomy and had a profound impact on human self-perception and philosophy and religion. It paved the way for the scientific revolution, weakening the authority of religious institutions and dictating cosmological truths and promoting a value system that favored empirical and scientific evidence and rational inquiry. Another groundbreaking development was Charles Darwin's theory of evolution by natural selection as outlined in On the Origins of Species. And this theory dramatically altered the understanding of human origins and our place in the natural world. It challenged traditional religious values of creation, leading to significant debates and shifts in belief systems. The acceptance of evolution fostered a great appreciation for scientific methodology and led to a evaluation of humankind's relationship with other life forms, influencing ethical considerations in areas like environmental conservation and animal rights. The digital revolution marked by the advent of the internet and digital technologies has transformed nearly every aspect of modern life, including communication, commerce, education, and entertainment. This revolution has led to the creation of a global interconnected society where information is rapidly disseminated and accessible. It has altered values related to privacy, information sharing, and community building, and raised new ethical questions about data ownership, surveillance, and the digital divide. Advancements in medical science, such as the discovery of antibiotics, development of vaccines, and applications of CRISPR technology for gene editing, have also had a significant impact. These breakthroughs have changed societal values and beliefs about life and disease and health, and raised ethical issues concerning genetic engineering and end-of-life care and healthcare rights. The ability to manipulate genes, for example, poses profound questions about the essence of human identity and the ethics of designing future generations. In summary, each of these examples demonstrates how scientific discoveries and technological advancements can challenge and transform existing belief systems and values, leading to significant changes in the way societies view the world and themselves. And the ongoing interaction between science, technology, and human values continues to shape the evolving landscape of our beliefs and ethical value systems. The other one is societal shifts. Social shifts have often profound impacts on ethics and belief systems. These shifts can arise from various factors such as economic changes, political movements, cultural developments, or cultural developments. Here are 2 examples illustrating how societal shifts can affect ethics and belief systems. The first one is the Industrial Revolution and workers' rights. The Industrial Revolution, which began in the late 18th century, brought about significant changes in production, transportation, and technology, leading to major shifts in societal structures and economies. This industrialization led to the growth of factories and urban centers, changing the way people worked and lived. Previously, labor was largely dictated by agrarian cycles and artisanal crafts. The shift to factory work highlighted the need for new ethical considerations around labor rights, including working conditions and child labor and fair wage. This societal shift led to the development of labor unions, labor laws, and new focus on workers' rights, fundamentally changing beliefs about work, the rights of workers, and the responsibilities of employers. And the other factor is like globalization and cultural ethics. The phenomenon of like globalization, characterized by increased interconnectedness and interdependence among countries, has significantly influenced cultural ethics and belief systems. As people and ideas cross borders more freely, there's been a blending and clashing of cultures. This has led to greater multicultural awareness and acceptance, but also to debates about cultural appreciation, identity, and the ethics of global global practices. The exposure to diverse culture and lifestyles has broadened perspectives, leading to a more inclusive worldview, but it also raises questions about preserving cultural heritage and respecting cultural differences. Each of these examples demonstrates how changes in societal culture and norms can lead to a new ethical dilemma and shifts in belief systems, requiring individuals and societies to continually adapt and reevaluate their values in response to these evolving circumstances. And let us finish this section with one illustrative video. Can you hear the video?
Yes.
Who would you save? The pedestrian in the road or the drivers in the car? It's not easy, and yet that's the kind of decision which millions of autonomous cars would have to make in the near future. We program the machine, but who do we tell it to save? That is the setup of the moral machine experiment.
There are so many moral decisions that we usually make during the day we don't realize. In driverless cars, these decisions will have to be implemented ahead of time. The goal was to open this discussion to the public.
Some decisions might seem simple. Should the car save a family of 4 or a cat? But what about a homeless person and their dog instead of a businessman? Or how about 2 athletes and an old woman instead of 2 school children?
The problem was that there were so many combinations, so many possible accidents, that it seemed impossible to investigate them all using classic social science methods.
Not only that, but how do people's culture and background affect the decisions that they make?
The only option we had really was to turn it into a viral website. Of course, it's easier said than done, right?
But that is exactly what the team managed to do. They turned these situations into an online task that people across the globe wanted to share and take part in. They gathered almost 40 million moral decisions taken from millions of online participants across 233 countries and territories from all around the world. The results are intriguing. First, there are 3 fundamental principles which hold true across the world.
The main results of the paper for me are first, the big 3 in people's preferences, which is save human, save the greater number, save the kids. And the second most interesting finding was the clusters, the clusters of countries with different moral profiles.
The first cluster included many Western countries. The second cluster had many Eastern countries. And the third cluster had countries from Latin America and also from former French colonies.
The cultural difference we find are sometimes hard to describe because they're multidimensional, but some of them are very striking, like the fact that Eastern countries do not have such a strong preference for saving young lives. Eastern countries seem to be more respectful of older people, which I thought was a very interesting finding.
And it wasn't just age. One cluster showed an unexpectedly strong preference for saving women over men.
I was also struck by the fact that French and the French subcluster was so interested in saving women. That was, I'm still not quite sure what's going on here.
Another surprising finding concerned people's social status.
On one side we put male and female executives, and other side we put a homeless person. The higher the economic inequality in a country, the more people were willing to spare the executives at the cost of the homeless people.
This work provides new insight into how morals change across cultures, and the team see particular relevance to the field of artificial intelligence and autonomous vehicles.
In the grand scheme of it, I think these results are going to be very important to align artificial intelligence to human values. We sometimes change our mind. Other people next to us don't think the same thing we do. Other countries don't think the same things we do. So aligning AI and human moral value is only possible if we do understand these differences, and that's what we try to do. I so much hope that we can converge, that we avoid a future where you have to learn about the new ethical setting of your car every time you cross a border.
Interesting video, right? Now let's pass to the main part of our presentation, that's predicting future values and belief systems. Predicting future value and belief system involves a lot of speculation, as they are influenced by a myriad of factors we've seen, such as like the technological advances, socio-political shifts, and cultural trends. And now let's start with like some possible scenarios. The first one we're going to see is how value and belief systems might turn out to be in effect to techno-centeredness of the world. In a society deeply intertwined with technology, the integration of advanced technologies into daily life will significantly reshape not only our value systems but also belief systems. This transformation will reflect a profound recognition of priorities, ethics, societal norms, and our fundamental understanding of the world and our place in it. The heightened emphasis on efficiency and innovation will be a key aspect of this shift. In a technology-centric society, rapid advancements in technology are not just welcomed, but expected, leading to a cultural ethos that constantly seeks to optimize and improve every aspect of life, from work to health to leisure. And this relentless pursuit of innovation could create a culture that's perpetually future-oriented, potentially overshadowing traditional values and practices. As a result, belief systems may increasingly favor adaptability, continuous learning, and readiness to embrace change, often at the expense of more stable and time-honored beliefs and practices. Digital connectivity is also becoming a core value, fundamentally redefining community and communication norms. As virtual interactions become more immersive and emotionally fulfilling, physical presence may diminish in importance. This shift could alter how relationships are formed and maintained, with digital interactions possibly becoming more significant than physical ones. Consequently, belief systems may evolve to prioritize digital identities and virtual experiences, redefining concepts of community, friendship, and even family. And the role of AI and automation in the workforce will also promote a revaluation of the purpose of work. As traditional jobs will become more automated, work might increasingly be seen as a means of personal fulfillment, social interaction, social contribution, or creative expression, rather than merely a source of economic necessity. This could lead to a transformation in societal structures like the work week and retirement age, and even the concept of a career, reflecting a shift in beliefs about productivity, success, and the role of human labor. In education, the dominance of digital learning will likely change the approach to knowledge acquisition. Skills like literacy, critical thinking, and adaptability may become more valued, and the role of human teachers might evolve towards facilitating learning rather than directly imparting knowledge. This could lead to a belief system that values self-directed learning and critical questioning over traditional education hierarchies and methodologies. Ethical considerations surrounding AI and virtual realities are poised to challenge traditional human-centric belief systems. Debates about the rights and treatment of AI entities could lead to the development of new moral philosophies that include artificial intelligence as entities worthy of ethical considerations. Similarly, experience in virtual realities could raise questions about the nature of reality and existence, potentially altering fundamental beliefs about self and nature of experience. And the pervasive influence of technology might also lead to a shift towards technocratic government structures where decisions are heavily based on data and algorithmic analysis. This could challenge democratic paradigms and raise questions about the role of human judgment versus data-driven decision-making in governance, potentially altering beliefs about freedom, autonomy, and the nature of democracy. And privacy and personal autonomy are likely to become central values in a highly connected digital world, new norms and expectations about data sharing and personal space might emerge, influencing individual behavior and leading to more cautious management of digital footprints. This could lead to a belief system that places a high value on personal privacy and data security, reshaping our understanding of trust, confidentiality, and personal boundaries. In summary, a technology-centric society is likely to develop a value and belief system that prioritizes efficiency, innovation, connectivity, and adaptability. This evolution could profoundly challenge and redefine traditional beliefs and norms, leading to new ethical considerations, societal structures, and ways of understanding human purpose, identity, and interaction in a rapidly evolving digital landscape. Now, let's move to how future value and belief systems will be if the world turns out to be more eco-centric in the future. This scenario has a high chance of coming to light considering the environmental pollution and the resource depletion challenge the world is facing right now and will face in the future. In an eco-centric worldview where escalating environmental crises become a central concern, there will be a profound shift in societal values and beliefs extending into religious and spiritual dimensions. This shift will represent reorientation of priorities towards sustainability, ecological balance, and harmony with the natural world, deeply influencing how societies function and interact with the environment. One of the most significant aspects of this shift will be the reverence for nature, which might take on a dimension akin to religious veneration. In this scenario, the environment and nature could be revered in ways that lead to the emergence or strengthening of nature-centric spiritual practices and beliefs. Existing religions might adapt to this change, placing a greater emphasis on stewardship of the earth as a core tenet of their faiths, integrating ecological consciousness into their doctrines. Sustainably, in an ecocentric worldview, becomes not just a practical necessity but a moral imperative for the future. This perspective embeds the principles of environmental conservation and responsible resource use into ethical systems, making them central to both individual and societal decision-making processes. This moral standpoint might be supported and even championed by religious doctrines that promote harmony with nature, viewing environmental stewardship as a sacred duty. With a focus on reducing carbon footprints and sustainable living, there would likely be a significant shift towards minimalism and conscious consumption. This reflects a belief system that values simplicity, sufficiency, and reduced impact on the environment. Such beliefs could align with religious or spiritual teachings that emphasize modesty and detachment from material possessions, advocating for a lifestyle that is less about consumption and more about mindful interaction with the environment. An ecocentric worldview often includes a deep respect for all forms of life. This could manifest in a widespread adoption of vegetarian or vegan diets, not just for health or environmental reasons, but also as an ethical and spiritual choice. This belief system resonates with many religious and spiritual traditions that regard all life as sacred, reinforcing the idea that every living being has intrinsic value and deserves respect and protection. The emphasis on equitable resource distribution and community resilience might foster strong communal values. This shift could align with religious and spiritual teachings that emphasize community compassion and caring for the less fortunate. In summary, an ecocentric worldview would likely lead to a value and belief system where the health and safety of the environment take a central place. This shift would influence lifestyles, ethical decisions, and potentially reshape religious practice and teachings to reflect a deeper commitment to ecological stewardship and harmony with nature. The reverence for the natural world combined with a moral imperative for sustainability could profoundly transform how societies view their role and responsibility towards the earth and each other. Now let us move to how future value and belief systems will be if the world turns out to be more community-driven, although it seems highly unlikely following the current trajectory. In a community-driven collective future, society experience a significant shift from individualism to collectivism, profoundly impacting value and belief systems, including religious and spiritual aspects. This new paradigm would place a strong emphasis on communal well-being, resource sharing, and collective decision-making, making a departure from the individual-centric models of the present. In such society, the well-being of the community takes precedence over individual desires. This shift in values is likely to be supported and reinforced by religious and spiritual systems that emphasize community, solidarity, and the common good. And religious teachings might increasingly focus on themes of communal welfare, social justice, and collective responsibilities, aligning closely with the societal ethics of shared well-being and mutual support. And the emphasis on sharing resources and making decisions collectively foster stability system that value interdependence and cooperation. This could be reflected in religious practices that prioritize communal activities, shared rituals, and collective worship, mirroring the societal focus on collaboration and mutual support. Such a shift would likely enhance the communal aspects of religious observance, strengthening the bonds within religious communities and reinforcing the importance of collective experience and spiritual life. There might also be a resurgence of traditional practices and crafts accompanied by a renewed interest in indigenous and ancestral spiritualities. These belief systems often emphasize a deep connection with the community and the land, offering spiritual framework that resonates with the values of community-driven society. This could lead to a revival of ancient spiritual traditions and practices, providing rich resource of wisdom and guidance for communal living. In a society where local governance and small-scale living arrangements are prevalent, religious and spiritual institutions could play a significant role in community organization and moral guideline. And decision-making process might integrate spiritual principles, and religious leaders could serve as key figures in promoting community cohesion and ethical conduct. This integration of spiritual wisdom into governance could lead to foster a sense of shared support, purpose, and moral responsibilities in communities. In summary, a community-driven collective future is likely to foster a value and belief system centered on communal well-being, cooperation, and the integration of traditional and spiritual wisdom into everyday life. This paradigm shift challenges the more individualistic models of the present, promoting a collective approach to living that deeply influences both secular and religious spheres, encouraging a more interconnected, cooperative, and spiritually enriched society. Now let's move to how future value and belief systems will be if the world turns out to be more spiritually connected and mindful in the future. By that we mean in a future spiritual and mindfulness-based society. In a spiritual and mindful-based society, there will be a significant shift from a focus on materialism and external achievements to a deeper emphasis on your well-being and spiritual goals. This societal transformation will profoundly influence prevailing values and belief systems, including those in religious and spiritual dimensions. One of the key aspects in this shift will be the collective search for deeper meaning and purpose in life, particularly in response to the fast-paced, technology-driven lifestyle of modern time. This yearning could lead to a resurgence in spiritual and religious practices as people explore various traditions to find answers to existential questions and to seek a sense of connection with something greater than themselves. This exploration might manifest as a renewed interest in religious texts, spiritual teachings, and practices that offer insights into life's deeper meanings and purposes. And mindfulness will become a central value in this society, encouraging individuals to live in the present moment and cultivate a heightened awareness of their thoughts, feelings, and surroundings. And this emphasis on mindfulness is in alignment with many religious and spiritual teachings that advocate for the presence, awareness, and the cultivation of peaceful mind, like the Buddhism and Taoism and also Hinduism. And mindful practices such as meditation and mindful living are likely to be integrated to daily life, influencing how people interact with each other and their environment. And the rise in practice like meditation and yoga, rooted in ancient spiritual traditions, will become widespread, valid not only for maintaining physical health, but also as essential tool for mental and emotional well-being. They might even transcend their traditional cultural context and be integrated into various other religious practices, reflecting a broader spiritual and holistic approach to life. And compassion and empathy will also emerge as central societal values, influencing everything from personal interaction to policy making. This ethos will resonate with the core teachings of many religions and spiritual paths which emphasize love, kindness, and the interconnectedness of all life. As a result, societal structures and policies might increasingly reflect these values, promoting a more compassionate and empathetic approach to social issues. In summary, a spiritual and mindfulness-based society is characterized by shifting values towards introspection, compassion, and holistic well-being. This transformation deeply would influence both secular and religious spheres, and reflecting a collective desire to balance the external material aspects of life with inner spiritual and emotional fulfillment. And the society values deeper connections both within oneself and with the larger community, fostering a more mindful, compassionate, and spiritually enriched way of living. And like these were like some of the possible scenarios, how future value and belief systems would be in different like possible society scenarios. And like this was my presentation today, and thank you for listening. Nur Sultan and Dorgo will present to you about future societies next Friday.